Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today this is a crazy position for Undying. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, this hero cooks. Like, this is literally probably my favorite. Anytime I have to play support, I typically pick Undying. I just love playing this hero, and I'm going to show you one of the craziest games in a while. The reason why this game is crazy is I was laning #1 against Yatoro, who tipped me at the end of the game. I imagine either he hates me because I pick Undying, or he was impressed with my gameplay. It was one or the other, I don't really know, but I was laning against Yatoro, so obviously a very competent player there, and I was laning with XXS. Yeah, so the offlaner for Aster. So it was a really high skill game. However, at minute 10, you will notice that my Nature's Prophet has 7,000 net worth. That is not a bug. Well, the person below him is a bug, that is Weaver, but that is not a bug. 7,000 net worth at minute 10. How is this possible, you might ask? Well, let me show you what it takes to be the greatest of all time. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the gameleap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the gameleap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, so getting into it, I start with a stats-based build. I don't do this every single game, but I am entering the lane with 16 strength from a bit of a rune fight. I typically will always fight a rune with Undying because he's pretty strong at level 1. Do not, and I repeat, do not skill anything besides decay. Do not be like these 2K bots who scale Tombstone and then are useless during the laning stage. Please do not do that. It's so awful unless you get a rampage at the rune, which like never happens. Okay, so we're starting it off. You're always gonna spam decay, right? Immediately I decay this guy, and I won't always do this. Sometimes I'll hold decay looking for a 2-man decay opportunity, but I knew for a fact this guy was gonna try to kite me all the way back to the lane, and I just decided to man up. The nice thing about Undying is it's a very fast hero at 300 movement speed. It's got decent armor at 3, and then I'm hitting currently for 84 because I have 20 stolen strength. In terms of my items, I obviously have wand components. Sometimes players literally just spam mangoes. I felt that Silencer Sven was enough of a justification for stick. I'm a bit on the fence about this, I will not lie, but I kind of like it, and I end up getting 10 stick charges pretty early, so it felt like it sort of paid off. But yeah, from there, I'm going to ship out, well, by the way, I bought a sentry, I'm going to block the small camp, nothing crazy there, and I'm going to ship out 2 more. Where's my courier? There it is, there's my courier. That's coming with 2 more mangoes. You just buy mangoes. Now in this lane, I really want to decay the Sven as much as possible because he's a strength hero and he has the last hit. The more times I decay him, the harder it is for him to last hit. On top of that, I'm going to look for any opportunity to chip them down, but I'm not going to chase too far as I get another 2-man decay. Anytime I can hit a 2-man decay, I will take the 2-man decay. 2-man decays are like the godsend of the laning stage. From there, I identified that I have a large camp. The Silencer did not block it, and I'm going to eat a mango eventually. I look at the side pull. Did I go for the side pull? Yeah, so I immediately get a side pull, which is a big mistake from Silencer letting me have this. To be fair, I probably would have zoned him off of it if he tried, but either way, he shouldn't have let me get the side pull, because from there, I'm going to chase out the Sven. Eventually, I'll decay the Sven and drop his damage low. He's now hitting for 63 instead of his typical 71 at this point, and we're going to body him a little bit off of the large camp. We're not going to dumpster him, but because of the side pull, my Nature's Prophet gets a free farm on the lane, and I'll eventually, I should have hit a 2-man decay there, that was embarrassing. I guess maybe I had Arcane Curse on, so I didn't go for it. I'm not sure, but I could have hit a 2-man decay there. And then yeah, I'm going to trade pretty hard, but because I'm trading with them, they're casting spells on me, and that gives me 10 stick charges, which I'm going to immediately pop, heal myself up, give myself a lot of mana, and look for more decays. From there, I ship out 2 more mangoes, so now I'm up to shipping out 4 mangoes on top of my starting 3 mangoes, and I look for another 2-man decay. I'm actually missing a few opportunities, I will admit, but the big deal is that my Nature's Prophet is currently getting their free farm. I'm not shutting down Sven yet, but that will come in a moment. The really best way to use Tombstone in the laning stage is to dive the tower, and I really mean that. I think diving the tower is the best way, because then if you zone them off of the creep wave, right, if you Tombstone under the tower will kill the creeps. However, if you Tombstone right now, let's say I Tombstone right now, it's just going to push the creep wave into Sven, and he's going to last hit comfortably under the tower if he doesn't die. So that is why I think a lot of players, when they're playing Undying, don't value tombstoning under the tower enough. The zombies don't get aggroed by the tower, and the creep wave will tank for you as you dive with the tombstone. And so it's just super effective. You'll see in a moment, the wave's gonna double up. So I identify, this is perfect. I have a double wave. So if I zone Sven off the wave, he is gonna miss a gajillion creeps, and all these creeps will tank the tower for me and my Furion as we dive. So you're gonna see in a moment, I just kind of chuck a tombstone down behind the Sven, right? I sort of just throw it up here because I know even if I don't kill them here, Sven is going to miss out on a ton of creeps. And really, that's the big value. Now, Sven ends up getting zoned off the creep wave. The Furion TB's on him, which I didn't really expect him to do. I mean, I think Furion was actually supposed to play the wave with me here and just push the silencer off of the tomb, because silencer ends up killing the tombstone, which is not great. It gives him quite a bit of gold, and he gets to sap some of the XP. So I think that was a mistake from Furion, from XXS. I think he should have just played the wave with me and zone off the silencer, but whatever. You know, I could have been faster with the tombstone. Either way, as I said, this is what we want, because now look, we push this Sven off. Realistically, he should have just died. Like, I actually think Yataro should just kill himself there. Because if he doesn't, he's in a situation where he has no regen, and he's getting completely bullied off the wave. Now, he's like jittery here. He's like, I'm missing an entire creep wave under tower. We're getting none of the XP. This is terrible. Right, but this is what we want. And now he ends up just kind of like panic killing himself, I guess, because what else can he do? He can't even connect the silencer to get the regen. So we're just cutting the wave. We decay him, he dies, and our silencer has to play the creep wave. We make sure he doesn't get any CS. So yeah, they're just super, super poor. And this is a great sequence. Then we get off a side pull. I mean, this is some clean laning, right? I mean, to be fair, silencer should not have given me a side pull. Like, that is why when I watch a lot of position 4 players have a side pull camp and like never abuse it when the lane is pushed up, it's just so sad, because it's like a luxury in high MMR games. Like, this game is definitely the exception in that regard, as I go for the large creep. Unfortunately, Sven does get it, but now we just kind of trade out. At this point, I was sort of low on mana, so to some extent, I kind of wanted to die. Like, if you have 0 mana on a dying and you get a decent trade out of it, you're kind of chilling. They end up committing really hard on me here, so I dropped the tombstone directly on top of silencer. The reason why I put it on top of silencer is I know for a fact that their current HP pools, if they commit to it, they're just gonna die. He turns to hit it a single time, that's gonna get him punished, and the Sven gets bullied off the wave again, and now he's gonna even commit to me here, but I'm kind of chilling. The Furion walks over. I don't even think he kills me here. Yeah, he doesn't, but I wanted to die at this point. Like, literally, I was like, just kill me. I'm only decaying him here because I felt that if he turned to try to kill me, I did want to win the trade. I'd rather kill him and then deny it to tier 2. But he ends up... Did I cancel a salve there? What was that? He's just regenning from a Tango. But yeah, I'm just spam decaying him here because, once again, as I said, I kind of want to die. So I'm just using all of my mana, all my resources before I die. And I'm probably popping too many mangoes here before perishing, but the Furion ends up TPing in, which I didn't even call. So my man, just the awareness to teleport in here. What a beast, as I get Arcane Cursed. Eventually that's going to take me down, but the charge comes over, and that's a double kill for the Furion. And all of a sudden, look at the net worth. And it's not like they're getting gold from killing the Tombstone, or like they're doing okay. Like they're spending all of the gold that they are getting on regen. I mean, this is just a complete stomp. So it goes to show, and part of me wants to watch this game from the Furion perspective, as he's going to look to take the tower now, and this is part of his 7k net worth, like such an early tower he's going to be able to get. I do end up TPing mid here briefly, just to refill the bottle of the Tusk for making a move eventually into the jungle. I think we end up kind of going down here as I deny the Tombstone. I just got to bully him out here, but yeah, my Furion, I mean, he's so far ahead where I don't even need to help him anymore. Like, at this point, the Sven can't even lane against Furion. He's so farmed. I think he has a Javelin, so yeah, like the Warcry isn't even going to do that much. It's Wraps, right? It's Wraps in the bottom lane, and that's a free tower for Nature's Prophet. From there, it kind of just comes down to the fact that as he plays this game out, he's going to get a Maelstrom so quickly. That's going to allow him to farm the camps. He is also able to TP top on a major dive. This is a nice TP because he knows he's going to get a guaranteed kill. And on top of that, he hits level 7, which is going to allow him to skill up his treants here. And that's great too. I don't know why. Oh, that's so greedy from Mirana. I really don't think she's supposed to do that, because now you feed when you get a solo kill, but then feed a solo kill, it's typically net negative because you get a lot of XP and a lot of gold off solo kills. So like this Mirana gets jacked up from this solo kill on Spearbreaker, but then she's feeding everything she basically just got towards to this Furion. So now he gets a major kill on this Mirana, a huge solo kill, shooting up from just barely level 6 to now level 8 off these 2 kills. Maelstrom completed, and he gets to complete not only the bottom tower, but the top tower as well. I mean, this is just insane gameplay from XXS. Does he end up dying here? No, he walks this one off. Yeah, walks this one off, drops the Wrath of Nature to help with the Sven kill bottom, TP's back to base, sells his tangos, picks up another TP. I think Sven ends up going down to the bot lane as well. And yeah, he's just in a perfect position to carry the game. At this point, this is kind of where it can be hard to decide what to do from the Prophet's perspective. Like, do you TP in on the fights, or do you just jungle? He ends up TPing in because I think we had 5 heroes here. Unfortunately, we're really bad at the game and no one bought Dust against Mirana. You know, it happens. But he's just, yeah, he's in a position to fight here. They end up going on him, and I was actually really nervous he'd die. But because he's so over-farmed and over-leveled, he just completely chads him up, right? The Maelstrom procs just go to work, and yeah, he just takes out the enemy mid laner. Like, that Snapfire is the enemy mid laner. Just gets bodied by the Furion. What I will say about his gameplay in particular that I thought was really notable is that he slows down the pace of the game now, right? I think a lot of players will get over anxious. They're like, I'm having a good game, let's keep killing them. But the reality of Furion is like, your hero is still, it needs good fights. It doesn't just like destroy people when it gets ahead. You know what I mean? It's not something like Leshrac with a Bloodstone, where if you get a 10-minute Bloodstone, which he would like have here, he would be completely unkillable. That's just not this game, right? That's obviously just not this game. So he slows down the pace of the game, waits for an actual good opportunity. He even sees here like, hey, my team is feeding. Like, I remember we made this, I called this mid play. It was really bad. I made a mistake for sure. I called this mid play, and he sees that it's happening. Let me actually show you what it looks like. He sees that it's happening, and he just makes the really heads up play to not TP. So we're diving, we're kind of making a play to dive, but it's risky because the enemy team all can get there, right? It's really easy for them to connect. They have the Dawn ulti to save the snap, so we end up not being able to burst the snap. Very unfortunate. Yeah, I didn't have spells on a dying. My Tombstone got killed off by the snap instantly. I didn't have Flesh Golem. The Tusk wasn't having a great game, so he wasn't able to do too much. And Spearbreaker literally does 0 damage at this point of the game, so we just didn't have any damage. He also had no ulti and limited resources, and so did Weaver. So we just forced this really bad play where we don't have spells and we don't have damage. It was just a super low skill call on my part, to be blunt. Right, I wasn't taking into consideration the heroes we had and the resources available, and it was just a big mistake. He identifies this and doesn't TP in, right? And that's a great, it's just great. It's great because now, oh my, it's just so crazy to look at that's like real. You know what I mean? This is like some alchemist type stuff. It's just real as he's going to farm up the triangle. Anytime you have a hero like Weaver on your team who doesn't necessarily farm triangle early on, you can happily take it once you hit that Maelstrom timing. And now he's got the Gleipnir completed at minute 12. A disgusting timing on the Gleipnir. I mean, this is something you rarely see nowadays. The average timing on Gleipnir is like minute 17. And now with such an early Gleipnir, it's time for him to get to work. I also ended up calling this play. Maybe he was looking the whole time. Is he just that good? I actually called him the TP bottom. Yeah, I was telling him, hey, they're gonna go on me. So the reason why I call them the TP bottom here is I kind of know that Dawnbreaker and Mirana do a very limited amount of damage at this point of the game. It's not like some Ursa Shaman where I'm just gonna die. So they have a very limited amount of damage. As long as I can get off my ulti in a 2-man decay, I'm just not gonna die. But I pop my ulti as late as humanly possible because neither of them have an instant stun. So I want to bait them in as much as I can. Because they don't have an instant stun, I can pop my ulti last second, hit the 2-man decay, which I get a ton of strength from, get my Tombstone out before getting stunned here, and now they're trapped, right? I'm going to hit the Dawnbreaker to slow her up. They're going to commit on the Tombstone. Obviously, I understand why. They don't want to get slowed down the entire way out, and they get some gold, but they end up falling as well. So it was just a massive, massive kill, and a nice play with the early Gleipnir. I also really like his itemization this game. Typically you would see a BKB rush, and it would make a lot of sense. The enemy team is almost only magic damage in the early game, right? Sven takes a while to come online. So he goes to Force Staff, right? Because of the fact that they don't have instant stuns and they don't have hard stuns, he can basically always get off the Force Staff. It's kind of what I said before, but in this case, it's not Flesh Golem, it's Force Staff. So he's able to turn around here. He does get jumped, but yeah, he gets his Force Staff off, is smart enough to Gleipnir before popping the pick pull, but he Gleipnirs, hits the 2-man Gleipnir, and is able to pick pull out. It's a really great play to bait a bit of a rotation, get a lot of space for the Spirit Breaker top, and the Weaver in the mid lane. Now we're going to see a great team fight from XXS here. The only thing he can't do is get jumped because he did not go BKB. So in this team fight, he just needs to position his teleport slightly defensively to make sure he doesn't get caught. He picks up the Hyperstone from Assault Cuirass. Hurricane Pike Gleipnir is a really cool build, but it certainly does not give you that much attack speed. And so when you have Maelstrom, you really want an attack speed item. So the Assault Cuirass makes a ton of sense. It means that the Sven can't burst you, and it also means that you finally have some attack speed to get some value out of the Gleipnir. Yeah, we're gonna go for Roche here, and he ends up getting jumped here. I like that he doesn't panic with the Pike. You only want to Pike this game really against Sven, if possible. Right, that's the main reason why you would buy it against Sven. I mean, it's good if, like, let's say they try to cookie at you or dawn at you. You can use it for that reason too, as he takes a ton of damage. The Snap Hero sometimes does way too much damage, but he uses his regular TP back to base. We knew that they didn't have Sven ult here, so we decided to force the Roshan, and he's gonna TP back to base with regular TP, heal up, use his actual teleport to come clean up the Snapfire and gets a nice kill. From there, he's going to push in the bottom side of the map, and in terms of my gameplay, I ended up going for a Force Staff this game on the Undying. Basically, what I wanted to do is just save people from the Sven go. I felt that kiting the Sven is the name of the game this game. The other enemy heroes fall off. Snap falls off, Dawn falls off. The Dawn's also going Grease, so she literally does no damage, like literally 0. And so I just felt this game mostly came down to being able to kite the Sven. We'll kind of see that play out in this fight here. Weaver ends up getting gone on, but he has Aegis, and Furion still has TP, so we decided we could probably take the fight. Therefore, I drop a Tombstone on the high ground, and my Tusk does get gone on. Unfortunately, I cannot Force Staff him because of the fact that he is BKB'd, so the Tusk does sadly go down. From there, the Sven ends up chasing me, and I think it's really important that right before he kills me, right before he blinks on me, I get off my Force Staff. And that's key because it's going to buy time for these zombies to stack up and for time for the Furion to try to chase him down. Now, unfortunately, the Weaver doesn't connect immediately to the Sven, so we weren't able to kill him exactly right there, but the Prophet is going to TP in and chase. A bit of a risk for sure, but does get onto the Sven. Unfortunately, the Quelling Blade comes out and he isn't able to finish the kill. Until eventually he's going to chase onto the Sven and finds him in the tree line. He sees him running top, we got a nice charge on him, and look at this Pike timing. I mean, just such a heads up player. Gets to go onto the Sven. I guess Sven's stun was on cooldown from earlier, he's trying to protect himself. A couple of autos off, pops the wand and TPs, barely TPs out on 30 health. Oh, yeah, I mean, from the enemy's perspective, that is so sad. Oh, it's brutal. And now he can TP back in and clean up the Mirana or the Snapfire. Yeah, he finds the Snapfire, who does so much damage, actually. I say she falls off, but honestly, I'm impressed. But yeah, the Furion putting in work, carrying the hell out of this game, and cleaning up the fight. Now, as I said before, I felt like the name of the game was kiting Sven, so I ended up going for a Ghost Scepter next. I wanted to try to bait him in the team fights. I feel like Sven's a pretty readable hero in a lot of cases. Obviously, if you mess up and you get stunned and you're not paying attention, you will get bursted, so you have to be a little bit careful. Well, you'll see in this team fight here as we run up the enemy's cliff, I'm very confident to run in. Like, in general, because of the fact that I have this Ghost Scepter, I don't fear the Sven. All of the other heroes, if they want to commit their major spells on me, I just don't care. The reason why I'm threatened by Sven in particular, and this is something, guys, you should keep this in mind. The reason why I'm itemizing for Sven, even though you might be like, oh, you should buy a pipe. If they commit all of their magic damage on me, I'm fine with that. Like, because those heroes, they'll run out of steam very early if they kill me, right, with their spells. They'll just do nothing else for the rest of the fight, or at least for certain heroes for like 15 to 20 seconds. They're on cooldown. So for those heroes, I don't really care if they go on me, but if Sven kills me, it's kind of just like boom, boom, I'm dead, and it's not that big of a committal if he does, at least if he doesn't use BKB, right? So I don't want to die to Sven in some way where it's just like a casual 2-tap. That feels really, really awful. But we get off our Tombstone, we're going to chase forward, hit a nice 2-man decay, building up some strength, and now I have 2800 HP, and this is the power of the support Undying. 2900 HP after that decay, and the ulti actually makes the decays more effective. They give you more strength per decay. As the Dawn does get the ulti off, the Aghanim's ulti, they do kill off her Tusk, but we're able to chase on and eventually clean up this fight. As I said, I'm running up to this Sven with my Ghost Scepter active. I know for a fact he can't kill me. I thought he was going to try to turn and hit me. Ataro's good enough to kite out here, so he didn't actually end up trying to kill me during my Ghost Scepter, but either way, we chase on, slowing up the Snapfire here, just applying the damage amp, preventing her from kiting out as we try to finish off the Dawnbreaker. Briefly have to kite out because I'm a bit low on HP. I probably could have used Soul Rip a little bit earlier here on the creep wave. I end up going for it eventually. But yeah, we get a pretty solid fight overall. Oh yeah, and then the Mirana cancels our NPTP and dies for it. And to finish things up, we go for a Holy Locket level 15 talent build. I don't do this every game, but if I feel like I'm snowballing and I'm not dying in the fights, I like to go it. I take the Soul Rip damage and heal at 15, which it's not an insane talent. It's like one more point in the spell. It's actually kind of underwhelming to some extent compared to the other talent, which makes the Tombstone zombies do way more damage. But I really just feel like with this Holy Locket, it's insane because it's a 6-second cooldown, like 715 heal, and it's pure, right? Yeah, it's I think it's exactly 715. Yeah. And I mean, this is just crazy, right? Like, you have to think about it. That's like what max level Laguna Blade does after resistances. But there are no resistances here, right? Like, look at this Tusk's HP. Boom, 700 health, 6-second cooldown. And I can use it on myself as well, right? Just heal him up to full. So I really believe in this build. This mid-game Holy Locket on dying is insane. And then from there, my team actually had no Greaves, so I was going to pick up the Greaves. It's like such a good Greaves game, the armor against Sven, and then to purge all of Silencer abilities, it's like such a good game to get a late Greaves. Even though sometimes mech healing is semi-underwhelming late game, it's buffed up by the Holy Locket in this case, and as I said, the Greaves are really nice against the Sven and the Silencer. And as we go for one of our last fights, the Ghost Scepter is going to come in clutch. They end up jumping our Weaver, so things were looking kind of bad. But we get off our Ghost, right? Always click the pounding Ghost button when you're getting gone by Sven. Our Furion does get gone on here, but he had Aegis. And we get off our Tombstone. And thankfully I had this Ghost Scepter active. Otherwise, I might have actually gotten gone on by Sven. I think he saw it, so he didn't actually try to kill me. Yeah, we get off our Soul Rip, heal up for 400. And that's huge, right? We heal up for 400, and Mirana tries to finish me off. But because of the fact that I heal so much, she's unable to make that happen. She's going to try to continue to go on me, but I pop my Holy Locket, pop my Decay, and I'm chilling. One more Flesh Heap for the road as Furion just going onto the backline. Let's actually watch the last back half of that fight from Furion's perspective. So he TP'd in because my Weaver was dying. He wanted to try to help it out. And it actually looks kind of like a disaster fight. But thankfully for him, he's got the BKB and he just mans up. Furion late game is something else. It just, because of your low base attack time, you just chunk. Hurricane Pike on the Dawn, preventing the Q. And he just gets to work. Nature's Prophet late game, ladies and gentlemen. Zero does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. It does quite a bit of damage. Quite a bit of damage. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you were impressed by this landing stage. I thought it was like, I mean, this was one of the coolest games I've seen in a while. Like, I'm used to winning the lanes and dying, but not that hard. I felt like everything kind of just came together. We really zoned them off the creep wave well. And I think that's kind of the main selling point of this game in this video, which is like, if you zone people off the creep wave, that's when you get the value. Kills are great, but in the laning stage, if we kill the Sven like fast, he's gonna get all of his mana, all of his HP, TP back in, I'm gonna have no Tombstone, and he's gonna farm for a bit. But because he got stuck at low HP, which I actually think was a mistake from Mintar, I think he should have died, he just gets zoned off all the farm. And yeah, there you go, I got tipped at the end. Which I thought was pretty funny. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.